I think the church as a whole body, which is super diverse. I mean, you have everything from Anglican that women and homosexuals can be bishops in, to the Lutheran Church, where it's still pretty conservative, super conservative, old school, where only dudes all the time, right? And now you can let women read the scriptures and stuff. That's crazy. That never happened in my childhood, ever, except for
Moday his song with the cheddar flow, but dog, I gotta let them know a lot of reasons we should be seeking Jesus instead of more material things, the jewelry of fame. I speak of the game, but most ain't feeling me, man.
Is it wrong to question God?
I don't think so. I think you have to question, because whenever you're told something, like say you're told something as a kid, and it's new and it's a fresh concept, you have no understanding of what that concept actually is. Before you've been told, you're going to need context. You're going to need to see it in the world play out. You're going to need to establish some sort of system of meaning associated with the new information. But say you're a little kid and your parent tells you that, you trust your parent because, well, they're your parent, because they give you food, shelter, and all that stuff. And I think in people's relationship with God, whatever not just in Christianity, with everything, there has to be a rapport with that force you consider omnipotent or your savior or whatever. So, but you have to question it so you can establish what it means in relation to you. Because if you don't establish that, then it won't have any meaning at all, and you can't implement it into your life. So I think you have to question, and you have to find your own answers. You have to look at something, take it apart, put it back together, and really come to some sort of consensus within yourself. If it means something to you, if it can work, if it betters your life, and it should. And if it doesn't, then you have to ask more questions.
Do you attend church regularly? Why or why not?
When I lived with my parents, I attended it regularly just because I had, that's pretty much was the rule. You went to church and did the thing, and that was it. Down here, I don't really attend church as much as I used to. I'll go less than regularly, but mostly for me, even starting in high school, I was more concerned with the philosophy and the teachings, as opposed to I really think a lot of people go to church because it's a habit and it's their routine. So what started happening in high school was I started to, on some philosophical levels and just social levels, started to grow away from a lot of the people in my church, just because of the way they reacted to certain things that were going on in the church, like politics being more important than actually, thinking about things. And then when I say thinking about things, I mean thinking about things in terms of, how do we think this through according to the philosophies and the teachings that this belief system has taught us. That was less important than, who would be a horrible church elder or whatever. And just the way certain situations with previous pastors had been handled politically, it just became less about what it was supposed to be about. And so that kind of turned me off on church. And yeah.
Does God change his mind?
I think to presume that we know the thought processes of an all-powerful, all-knowing entity is kind of juvenile. When we put human sort of aspects onto, we always put the negative aspects of humanity on God, it's so mean, and that's why would he let evil happen, and that seems kind of petty, but I think to presume that an all-powerful entity couldn't change his mind is kind of ridiculous. Now, I think the ability is there, but if something's all-knowing and all, intellectual, then why would they have to? If they know what's going on all the time, if they have a concept of time, past, present, future, then they're supposed to be able to make the right decision all the time. But then you have things like us that have free choice, free will, so that may screw up the whole. It said that God doesn't know, or the only person, nobody knows when the world's going to end, except for God. Well, that's probably because He's just going to decide. Or anything could happen. So I think He could change His mind if He wanted to, or not He. I put a gender pronoun on. I think God itself could change His mind if it wanted to. So.
Mr. Windler's interview is pretty cool. He gave some a lot of detailed answers. Some were, I guess, over the top of my head. I don't know. Maybe I didn't understand it. Maybe I didn't listen completely. But it was pretty cool.
All right, Mr. Windler gave a very intriguing interview, just like I thought he would. His answers were pretty long. They're very long, but he's very opinionated, not in a bad way, but he tells you what he thinks. And he gives it, and he kind of gave not just a Christian view, but he spoke on behalf of. It seemed like he was speaking on behalf of other religions and giving this very neutral opinion about all of it, but. That's what we were going for. We were wanting kind of some, different kind of answers than what maybe most people would give that we would talk to. So that was cool. So, Mr. Windler.
Yeah, Mr. Windler.
There's really nothing more to say after that. Everybody, you all know him.
Yeah. He's got his own opinions, that's for sure.
I guess that's what 10 years at college does for you. It gives you a lot of education, so when asked questions, you can give a lot of answer.
Yeah. A lot of answer to the same question.
To the exact same question. I bet if we asked him something really, really simple, like
2 plus 2?
Like 2 plus 2, or just something simple, do you like pickles? He could probably give us the history of pickles, what pickles are made of, why they're made of that, how it works, where they've been in literature, and how that all comes together to benefit humanity somehow. But he'll never tell us if he likes them.
That's true. So, we should go ask him if he likes pickles.
I guess. I don't really like pickles.
I think I'll do that.
Alright, well, you let me know. Just sit here and wait.
Skilled to understand what God has willed, what God has planned.